Hey everybody, how you doing, Shawn?
I'm doing good, Andrew. How are you?
Good, very good. So, did you want to summarize what we'll be going over today in poster design and Adobe Express?
Yeah. This is going to be part of our or my community challenge, which is called Creative Circus. We're going to start in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to show you some of the assets I made, how I got them into my libraries, and then we're going to create a poster in Adobe Express using those assets and using the assets that are found in Adobe Express.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, welcome everybody. Let us know where you're watching from.
Hi, everybody. Chat, it's great to see you, and it's great to be here with you, Andrew.
Yes, yeah. Glad I finally could schedule you. I know I had some other things come up and had to kind of push it back a little bit, but here you are. So, thanks so much for being here.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, people are coming in. So yeah, the Photoshop and Lightroom group passed 330,000 members. So should be a
Wow.
good grouping of people coming in from all over. Let's see. So we
Wow.
got Jeremiah from Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks for being here.
Phoenix.
Someone from Michigan. Was it They're coming in quick? Greetings from South Alabama. Daryl, good to see you here.
Cool.
Marcia from Toronto, Canada. Linda from Oregon.
That's my sister.
Linda Jones.
Hi.
Cool.
Yeah. Hi, Linda.
Good to have family support. Nice. Very nice. And Carrie says, "Hey, Shawn."
Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
And Jeff, "Hi, Shawn." We got
Jeff.
quite the fan base
Oh
here. I
my
like
gosh. I had no idea everybody was going to show up.
Vikram is
Vikram.
here.
Vicky. Hey, buddy.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Shawn. He says, "Yeah, go." Should have
This is
scheduled you
awesome.
earlier. Get all your fans coming. I like it.
Oh, thank you everybody for showing up. This is awesome.
Canada.
People I
Yes,
haven't seen forever.
Carrie says, "We love you, Shawn."
I love you too, Carrie. You're the best.
Cool. And Imaginary
Oh,
says, "Vikram in the house." Is
that's
your mom here,
Sandrine.
Shawn?
Is my mom here? She's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everybody in chat say hi, Sean's mom.
Hi, Shawn's mom. And Sandrine.
Oh, I
Cool.
love this community. We now, for those of you that don't know, we kind of have a little bit of a crossover that's happening here. And Carrie, what's happening is a lot of these people from the Behance community, from my live streams, I've been promoting Andrew, promoting the Facebook
Appreciate it.
page, the Facebook group, and thankfully they're showing up. And
Nice. Great
everyone's saying hi,
community.
Sean's mom.
Love the Adobe creative community. Anything from the Facebook groups to
Oh,
Behance to, let's see, on what was it, Slack. So Slack and Discord. I just kind of started getting into Discord. I was intimidated by Discord for a bit, and then I realized, oh, it's just like a big chat. You just
yeah.
go in and post. But at first glance, I was like, what is all this? It's not as nicely organized as, say, Facebook. It's easily organized. And then I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's just a chat. So
Yeah. Discord can get overwhelming. My Discord, I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible. I actually don't have it up, but when we switch screens, I'll open it up right now.
okay,
Um, if
so
if we want to jump in, give me a quick second here,
just let me know.
and we can actually,
There it is.
yeah,
And do you
okay.
tend to like Discord more than Slack?
The reason that I am on Discord is right over here. We've got the Photoshop, Premiere Pro,
That's
or
right.
Motion. We've got XD, Illustrator, and Adobe Express.
Excellent.
So through all the daily, it used to be called the daily creative challenges. Now it's called creative challenges, but this is where you would post them. So if I jump into the Photoshop, we come down here to
I see
the
that now.
creative challenge feedback. You can see all the community's artwork, and
Nice.
then people from Adobe are giving you feedback
Nice.
in
So,
real time.
so let that be a reminder to everyone that if you are on Discord or curious of Discord, there's plenty of Adobe, what do they call them? Discords or
Yes.
channels or groups or whatever.
Yep. It's they're
I
very
don't know the
well
name.
organized between Discord and Behance. So they've got the live streams and the challenges happening on Behance, and then you can share your work and connect with the community on the Discord.
Right. So Imaginary says Discord reminds me of old news groups, but more messy. And Carrie says Discord is harrowing.
Oh,
But yeah, so as Shawn showed you, there is an Adobe Express Discord, so consider that. So
yes.
let's jump.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback about
Okay.
today's challenge. So this is one of the things that I do. I do community challenges in which I will come up with a theme. Let's say for this one, it is the Creative Circus. The past ones we did art in space. We have a create waves, 5 summer things. But the active community challenge right now is the Creative Circus, spelled with 2 Ks. That's the
So
hashtag.
Creative Circus is inside which Discord?
It is in my Discord
Under
up
your
here.
Discord itself. Okay.
And if you want to find my Discord and you want to jump in, if you
You
go
want
to
to be
my Behance, which is behance.net/Kosel, you can come down and either join straight from here. If you scroll down, you'll see join my Discord,
cool.
or you can also join from my link tree, which is linktree/Kosel. And if I open that up, you scroll down, it says join my Discord.
Great. Nice and clear.
So yeah, I've got merch to give away. So that's cool. It's going to be going on till the end of the month. And you can make anything at all that you want. This is Stuart's I believe it's fresco. He made it in fresco. And it's absolutely, you can make anything that you want to make using anything at all. And so that's, this piece here, I made fully in Adobe Express.
Nice.
Wait for it to load. Sorry, everybody.
Fun.
So,
let's not get too down the rabbit hole of Discord. We want to jump back into your presentations. So,
okay.
I guess keep that open, but I'm going to jump over to you. And so at this time, would you like to introduce yourself, Shawn, even though all your fans are already here, but let us know who you are.
I assumed everybody already knew me. I'm sorry. Hi, everybody. My name is Shawn Kosel. I'm a photographer. I'm based in Germany. I'm also a live streamer and an Adobe Express ambassador. On my live streams, I've done over 220 streams, over 500 hours. You can find them on all of them on Behance, but starting this year, I also am streaming to YouTube and Twitch.
Excellent.
So I'm kind of everywhere. People are going to get sick of me.
Perfect. Sounds great. And, just a reminder before we begin that if you want to access Adobe Express, you can find Adobe Express at adobe.com/express and express.adobe.com. Which one do you prefer to go to, adobe.com/express or express.adobe.com?
Express.adobe.com. I just start typing EX, it comes up, and I hit enter.
And Shawn will talk about it a bit more later, but there is a free Adobe Express, and then there are premium features as well that you can pay for. So shall I share your screen and jump on in?
Let's dive into it. 10 minutes. We got a lot to do.
All in 10 minutes? We have more than that.
Well, no. Okay. So first off, Andrew, if you have anything to interject, please interject. And questions from chat. I love tangents. I love questions. So bring them on.
Oh, real
Um,
quick, Carrie has a question. Please explain. Please explain Behance. Sounds like a Shakespearean word.
okay, then let's stick on my stream and let's jump into not my Instagram, Behance.
Behance.
Um, Behance is a social media app that is ran and owned by Adobe. You can see it's down here. It says Adobe right there.
Great.
And this is where artists come together to showcase their work. There are a series of different features that Behance is creating, such as freelance work, being hired for freelance work. But also it's here you can show off any of your projects. So this is my homepage. I've got all of my information, how I can be seen. And by the way, everybody signing up for Behance is free. And then you can add in whatever you want. So let's look at this. This is from the first Easter of lockdown. In Germany, we were pretty hardcore locked down. And so what I decided to do is I could walk in my village. So I went around to my neighbors
Oh,
that I
fun.
know, my friends, and told them, come to your window. I'm going to do a portrait. So to begin with, like, here we go. This is my wife and I looking out. Now we're doing the opposite, but we're looking at the Rhine River. So
And
we've
would you
got
be
the river
drinking
in
a
the back.
Riesling?
I was drinking a Riesling. You are correct. Jim and Jana, very good friends.
Nice.
And so this was just a way to really jump in, showcase what kind of we were all going through.
Pretty creative.
Um,
I like it. Yeah.
yeah, but also being able just to kind of still try to stay connected. So really nice and
Excellent.
just having fun.
Cool.
So our next door neighbor restaurant. So this is what you put together. You put together your projects, and then people can look at them, like them. If
Nice.
you can
You
also
could put
be
all your
featured.
links there.
Yeah. One of
Oh,
the things, like, I will not play this because I'm not set up for sound,
okay.
but this was a project that I set up. It was the first illustration that I've ever done. These are all the apps that I use to do this. I created in Adobe Illustrator using 3D, creating the buildings from photos that I took, creating backgrounds, creating a character in Character Animator, and was able to take it into After Effects and create an animation. And there's not going to be any sound. Let me mute it, but we can let this play for a couple seconds.
Have fun.
First time I've ever done anything like this. So
Cool.
it was just something fun.
It reminds me of
And
the
I did the whole thing live.
animate from audio option through Adobe Express, where you do your voice and you choose a character and then it animates it a little bit. It's
Yep.
pretty.
Character Animator. You got it.
And
So,
Carrie
Carrie,
says, definitely need to get on Behance. Is it part of Adobe CC?
it is. If I open up my CC, here's my app right here. And if you come up to apps, let's go to all apps up here at the top.
All right.
You can come up here to web, clicking on web. And as you scroll down, you're going to see, well, we've got Adobe Live, which is the Behance. Also here is Behance to launch.
Excellent.
Showcase and discover creative artwork.
Great.
And just so you know, in your CC, you also
direct with Behance.net, right?
Behance.net, exactly.
On the browser.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so we jump into to Illustrator, or
yes, sir.
Nice.
Okay, so as I was talking about before, I was putting together a community challenge. And so the very first thing you do when you're trying to create anything at all as a designer is kind of make a mood board. So the first thing I wanted to do is I came up with the name Creative Circus because that hashtag was not used anywhere. So I knew that I had an original hashtag for Instagram, social medias, and Behance. Next, finding which fonts you want to use. Then I created a brief. So if anybody had any issues about what they wanted to make, there it was. And next off, color palette up here at the top. And I started creating different logo sets. So as soon as I started creating all of that, I decided that I wanted to create a top hat as being the main logo. Once those were created, this is not about working in Illustrator, but this is all about taking your designs and using the Creative Cloud libraries so you can use your assets anywhere. So if I jump over here to libraries, and if you don't see your libraries, come up to Window and then scroll down, it's alphabetical to libraries. Very, very important, and I'm going to say this several times. If you plan on using Adobe Express for anything, make sure you have many libraries. So first off, that is my Adobe Live library from earlier this week. So let's scroll down and find, did I go by it? Nope. Creative Circus. So it is alphabetical, and you can see all these libraries that I have. And I thought it was, of course, it's one of those things you can never see it when you're live. So I've added my text, I've got logos, and I've added assets that I want to use, and I've got colors and then more assets. So this is now I'm ready to jump into Adobe Express. So let's do that.
Great. And just want to give a shout out. Andrea's here. Happy Teach.
Hi, Andrea.
She's done a lot of Adobe Express lives with me as well. So good to see
I
you
have
here.
seen them. Okay, so for those of you that are new to Adobe Express, I am not going to be doing a full run through. I've seen Andrew's done intro type videos to Adobe Express to show off everything going on. I'm going to be talking about tips and tricks that I love to use. So
Great.
the first thing that I want to do is when I'm here is I want to use this for inspiration. So Adobe Express has, I don't know how many tens or hundreds of thousands of pre-made templates by Adobe affiliated people. So let's just jump in and we're going to go Circus, and I'm going to spell it right for the first time. So just with Circus, you can see up here, we only have 36 templates. I mean, there's not really that many.
I'm kind of surprised because there are usually so many for different themes or topics, you know.
Oh, there is. There is. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. It's like looking for fonts. You're
Right,
going to get
exactly.
lost. Yeah. So first thing I like to do is just kind of scroll through and see if anything really catches my eye that I want to take and run in a different direction. Now, this is hilarious because these have changed. When I first started working on this project and putting together this stream, these have changed since then. So I can tell you right now, and I was not aware of this, that it's been a month and
Hmm.
these are constantly cycling.
Nice.
I'm stunned. I didn't know that. So I've got an idea. I am loving this one here. Let's just go ahead and open it.
Big top circus.
Yeah, kind of old school.
Yeah, exactly.
I dig that. So that's kind of going to be our inspiration. Now, just so you know right off the bat, if there's any fonts that are being used within this project that you do not have activated in your on Adobe Fonts, they will automatically be activated so you can use them. I'm not going to use this. So let's hit that button. I don't want to save that. And we're going to do a poster. So I'm going to jump over here to poster. Now I can click poster up at this plus button and open up everything, but I don't want to do that. I want to make my own. So we're going to go start from scratch and let it load. There we go. Now, one of the first things you want to do, because you're going to end up with 800 projects that say my project. Make sure, name your projects. So we're going to call this, let's call this Circus Crew Live. That's for you, Andrew.
Sweet.
Okay. Now it's not saved yet. And just so you know, all of this is going to constantly be saved to the cloud. Well, now it's saving.
Right.
So the Adobe Express has a separate cloud than your Creative Cloud, because you always get that question, like, if I make all these projects, is it going to fill up my CC? No. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want to do. Now, let's jump into my libraries. We need to do this the right way. So down here, whoa, excuse me. Down here, we've got our libraries. We're going to open it up. Let's go ahead and find. Now these are not alphabetical, so we need to find the Creative Circus. I have no templates, but we want to see our assets. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit View All. Now, I also have created a brand. We're not going to get into brands today. I don't think we're going to have time. But this logo here, I definitely want. This is a logo that I made in Adobe Illustrator. So that is cool. I am digging that right there to start with. Getting back into our libraries, let's find our title that we made. And so right now, all I'm doing is I'm throwing some assets up there. So I'm happy with that.
And so just to reiterate, when Shawn saves these elements, say in a library in his Adobe Illustrator, he also has access to these as libraries in Adobe Express, correct, Shawn?
Absolutely, Andrew. They are going to be available to me across the board. I think Lightroom Classic is the only app that doesn't have libraries.
Cool.
Which some people said they should. I don't see a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But, all right, now everybody that uses Illustrator, Photoshop, or whatever creative InDesign, you can go to color.adobe.com and download color palettes, and they will be saved to your library. For some reason, they don't show up in your Adobe Express library.
Okay.
They will eventually show up in your color, but they won't show up here. So there's two ways to deal with that. Very important to know this when you're starting out is, as you can see down here in Adobe Illustrator, I created, let's make this bigger so everyone can see it. I created this color palette, just doing the normal 5 squares and knocking it out. I grabbed all 5 squares and I dumped that into my library as a graphic. So that is one way. The other way to do it is if you go to color.adobe.com, you have the opportunity to download a JPEG, and the JPEG will go in, and you've got your hex code and your RGB numbers there. Nice. So I don't need that. We're going to delete that, but I am going to leave this right there for now. Okay, so we've got our title. We got a hat. We got to make that bigger. We got to make it bigger. Come on. There we go.
Make the logo bigger.
Make 19% bigger, please. Make it pop. Now, there we go. We've got that. All right. I am seeing a major issue here, and I hate this. Right now, I'm seeing this hat, and it's got a flat part right there. I did not make it with a flat part. So there are times that you want to grab your asset when you see that, and you can see that our line, our crop line is right there. Now, what you want to do is you want to come over to crop and shape, click on that, and just open it up a little bit. just make sure to save those edges.
And Shawn,
And
can you take a question?
yes, sir.
So Frank asks, is a poster created in Adobe Express print ready, such as 300 pixels per inch, CMYK, etc.? So
You know
is a
what? I'm thinking through. So
so is a poster
um,
basically print quality? Is it like 300 pixels per inch quality
I
CMYK? I don't think it's CMYK, but is it
no,
300 pixels per inch?
I'm guessing. Okay, if you're actually going to go through and print this, this is my recommendation. I came up here and went to download. Now, you do not want to use JPEG. You're not, don't use JPEG. For
Okay.
print quality, you're going to want to go with a PDF. Now, you've got a different, really cool opportunities with PDFs when it comes to Adobe Express, because I could take all these assets and put them into just on my canvas and then save it as a PDF, and I can open it up into Adobe Illustrator and they'll open up as layers. You've got vectors because Adobe Express uses the noun project for shapes. If you're going to animate it in After Effects, so you'll want to save it as a PDF, open it up in Adobe Illustrator, get your layers in the correct order, save it as an Illustrator file, and open it up in After Effects.
Okay,
Boom.
so to clarify, if you were to download as a PNG or JPEG, it is most likely 72 pixels per inch quality, but if you download as a PDF, it'll default to a 300 ppi print quality, correct?
I'm going to agree with you on that.
Right.
I was actually going to download it really quick and do an info to check it out. Um, but if you're gonna print, just go with a PDF. That's
PDF.
going to be best quality.
Great.
So I don't know if that was Frank's question. Oh, it was Frank. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. All right, we are going to move on here.
Right.
We've got that. We've got that. Now we need a background. So we're going to go ahead and you know what? We have the opportunity to grab a background, but let's stick with photos. This is Photoshop and Lightroom group. So let's go to photos. Now, this is amazing because you have so many different options when it comes to your photos. But for this, instead of using my own photos, I'm going to use Adobe stock. And for just so everybody knows, whenever you're using stock photos in Adobe Express and you're thinking, oh, I've got the Premiere or I've got the premium membership, those photographers get paid. They actually get paid. So we've got your own stock photos. You can get your own photos from Lightroom. Now, this is another pro tip really quick. If you work in Lightroom Classic and you sync photos from Lightroom Classic to Lightroom, it is a smaller version of that photo. It's a lower quality. So if you go into Lightroom to bring photos in, the quality of the photo that you're going to add, if it's synced with Lightroom Classic, is not going to be as good. So
Okay.
that's a warning. You've
Good to
got
know.
Dropbox, Google Drive, Google Photos, but we're going to deal with Adobe Stock. So coming back into our photos right here, search Adobe Stock, and we're going to go Circus. Let's stay consistent here. Why go crazy?
Cool.
Why go crazy? We've got so many. Look
Now
at
there's
this.
115,000. Wow.
That's a couple. Not all of them are mine.
Some options.
I am loving this
I like
for a
that.
background.
So,
This is awesome. So let's go ahead. Let's go make that bigger. And I want to make sure everything is lined up right there. We need to go a little bit bigger. And those purple lines that are coming up, those are your smart guides. Use them. They snap. It's wonderful. Now, what happened to all my assets? This is so cool. If I click over here in the bottom, this is your layer panel. So you can see I've got my background. Now, one thing I could have done, and let's actually show this. This is important. Let's go ahead. You know what? Let's delete it. We're going to delete that. We're going to come back into our photos. I'm going to grab it again. And that photographer or whoever made that just got paid twice. Taking care of artists. We're going to click on that and come up here and hit add to background. One button. Boom.
Nice. Yeah,
Why
that's
make
nice.
it hard?
Nice
So,
and fast.
yeah. So it's really nice. What happens is down here, you can see that means that symbol right there means it's a background. It's locked on the background. It's full size. So all my it goes drops right to the bottom. So we're loving life there.
Right.
Next off, let's go into our photos, and I want a tent. I've went through. Got to have this elephant. That's too good. That is too
On
good.
the ball, yeah, great.
Now I'm sorry if this is if that's Photoshop, that's
I have
pretty
to ask
good.
the question that you're going to show us anyways, but how do you remove the background?
So
How easy
at
is
this
it to
point,
remove the background?
well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a PDF, download it, open it up in Illustrator, save that as a Photoshop file, and then open it up in Photoshop and use the new subject remove background feature in Photoshop.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. We've got it here in Express right here. Remove background.
Nice.
So cool. So let's go ahead and do it. Wait for it. Boom.
Nice.
I'm telling you, it does a pretty darn nice job. I missed a tiny bit there, but for what we're going to be doing with this stylization, it's fine. But that is absolutely amazing. At this time, I've got the auto button done. You can erase more or restore more, and this is your brush size. You can also invert the cutout if you need to, but I am completely happy with that right now. I am digging that. Let's go ahead, grab our color palette, move that up so we can use it later. Let's make it a tiny bit bigger for right now. Oh, he lost. Nope. I got issues. Lost his tusk.
Uh-oh.
So what do? We come up here, edit cutout. So we're going to edit cutout. I'm going to go Command plus. We're going to zoom in on that elephant, and we're going to restore. I'm going to use the bracket keys and make my bracket make my brush way smaller. And we're just going to paint that
Right
in. And just for fun, that's good. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to hit Command 0 to zoom back out. And now we've got our tusks. Now I'm happy. So let's get back in, and we want to go with another photo. And at this time, I was talking about a tent earlier before I was distracted by an elephant.
That's right. Circus tent.
Circus tent. And if I could spell it right, there's a space there.
This little space.
Okay. And we only have 3,300 assets here. But, oh, I'm loving this one. I am digging that.
Stuart says that elephant has talent.
He can balance chat and stream at the same time.
Sweet. And Erica says she loves that feature, the remove background. And
that's fun. Yeah, it is fun to get to play with. Okay, I'm just making sure. On this photo, we're going to test it. Let's test the remove background. See what we get. I may like it. I may not.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't like it though.
All right.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit clear cutout. And what we're going to do with the selected, we're going to go ahead, cancel out of that. And we're going to just use some blend modes. So over here, Adobe Express has 3 blend modes. We've got multiply, screen, and normal. It's set to normal right now. Multiply is going to remove all your light colors. Screen is going to remove all your darks, your blacks.
Right.
So we're going to see, oh, okay, I'm kind of digging that. I'm digging that. If we
Nice
drop
texture.
this, if we drop that down, oh, okay.
Yeah, cool texture, right?
Yeah. I'm really liking that. So at this time, if I start clicking and I'm trying to get the tent and I'm clicking everything else, use your layer panels. Come over here, click on your tent right there. And what we can do, if we want to bring down the opacity of the tent a little bit. So just because I like those stripes in the back. Okay, right there. I'm digging that. Now that elephant's not fitting for me at all. So let's grab that elephant. And with almost everything here, this is really important. You've got different filters and enhancements that you can use. So we're going to jump over into our filters. We're going to grab the filter, and you've got duotone, grayscale, darken, scrolling down. We've got contrast, matte, lighten, colorize, and multiply. The one that I love the most is duotone. This is where you can really jump in and change your colors up. The way duotone works is on the left-hand side, as you can, well, I was going to say blacks, but as you can see, it says shadows. So on the left-hand side, that's your shadows, that's your highlights. So we're going to jump in, grab our shadows, and our color palette, we've got the wrong brand up. So let's actually take care of that first. We are going to come up to our colors. And as of right now, you can see my brand is set up right there for Kosel. That is not what we want. We're going to jump in and switch brands. And these are brands that I've made in the past. And we've got our Kreative Cirkus brand. And now it says Kreative Cirkus. So our color palettes that we had before and the colors that we're using show up right here. So you can't get them from the library, but they eventually show up here. So I dig that. All right. We've got that. And let's see here. Yeah, let's continue on with the elephant. We're going to jump in. We're going to open up our filters. And we're going to grab the darks. And whoa, sorry. Now you can see we've got our Kreative Cirkus color palette up here, so I'm happy for that. And if we wanted to, let's go ahead and use that color for the darks. And we're going to use this pink. I'm liking that. I think we need to go lighter for that. There we go. Now we've got a little bit more of a pop. Make your elephant pop. Has that ever been said on one of your streams, Andrew?
Makes sense here, though.
It does. It
So
does.
Heinrich is in the house here too.
Heinrich, hello, sir. Good to see you. Okay. So at this time, we need stars. So I'm going to go ahead, delete that color palette because we don't need it. We are going to increase the size of our text. And there we go. I'm digging that. This is supposed to be fun. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. Now we're going to jump into shapes over here. This is so cool because the shapes are actually from the Noun project. So they're vector. These shapes are so amazing. And when you jump into anything at all, and let's go ahead, I'll use design assets because this is very important when you're diving into Adobe Express. is you have a bunch of subcategories from trending, effect groups, all of this stuff. You can go down a rabbit hole and be lost forever. If you have a direction that you want to go with, if you use the search bar at the top, you're going to search all of those subcategories. If you jump into a subcategory by clicking the more, once you click on it, now you're searching in that effect group. It says right there. So usually I don't like to do that. I'm like, I want to search everything. So we're going to do the same thing, but in shapes, and we're going to bring up stars. And there's 9,335 stars.
That's it.
That's it. There's so many stars. So I am looking for kind of an old retro style. Oh, nope. I do not want stars. I want star. I want 1 star. You got to be specific. Now we have 46,000 stars. We're going to be here for a while. Everybody have a drink of coffee, tea, whatever it is. It's 10:30 my time, so yeah. Ooh, that is kind of cool. Okay, let's grab that. We're going to replace the color by clicking here, and we can actually just jump in. Nope, I don't like that. I do like that. Okay, that's a little vicious for me. Now, here is something that's really important to do. As you can see, I've changed the color, and even if I wanted to, let's go ahead. We're going to switch it to, that'll make it disappear. Let's go normal. We're going to bring down the opacity, just lighten that up. So I've made changes to this star. If I come up here, instead of looking for a new star, I can hit replace. So we're going to hit replace. It takes me back into the stars. I keep on scrolling, looking for something I like, and I click on it, and everything that I did gets done to that one. So replace is a very powerful tool, and it's really important, especially when you're using photos and other assets within Adobe Express. So instead of trying, I want to get rid of this and delete it and look for something new, nope, use the replace. So much better. Yep, I'm not finding what I want, so let's try a different wording.
Smart way of working. That's for sure.
Retro star? Retro? Maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay. That looks like a jack top. Oh, that's the one I like. Okay. I'm digging that one right there. Now, of course, we need more than just 1 star. So if you're going to make copies of anything, you can come up here to your panel, and just so, because I haven't shown this before, I've got my star selected. We've got replace shape. We've got our duplicate. You can mess with the layer order here. You can delete it or source info, which we don't need. But the best way to delete things is hold down the Option or Alt key and drag. Drag.
Yeah, that's the way I like to do it.
Yeah. Now, this is so cool. This is new to Adobe Express, or relatively new. So I'm going to go ahead and hold Shift. We're going to grab those 4 stars, and I'm going to go Command G, and we're going to group them. And as you can see over here in our layer, it says group. Now, at this point, if I want to move those around, I can move all 4. That's great. But let's do it again. I'm going to select. I want to move individually. So if I click on that, it opens up the group layer panel by itself. Now I can come in, as you can see with this blue line, it's still selected the group, but now I've got individual stars selected. So I can grab some of these stars. I can make it smaller. I can move each individual star around, but it's still in a group. So very important. That one should be smaller. like so. This one should be bigger. And if you ever have problems, and believe me, I've had problems moving stuff around and getting, just getting hold of stuff, make sure to use these handles. The handles are there for a reason, to make your life a little easier.
So
Just a
easy to
little.
resize, easy to rotate.
Exactly. Okay. I think we're good there.
Yeah.
I need a texture. I want a texture. So let's jump into the design assets. And I would love, let's check out if they have any halftones. Okay, we've got 135 halftones that came up and different textures. So cool. So let's go through. Oh, that's very hard to see, and it's probably being compressed, but those are like diamonds. Not a fan, so let's go ahead, hit the replace button. And I may actually just go, this is some kind of cool looking texture.
So Carrie has a question.
Yep,
Can a person make their own halftones?
absolutely. Now, Adobe Express is not the place that you would want to do that. I think I'm gonna work while I'm talking. We're gonna flip that vertically. If you're gonna be making your own halftones, you're gonna want to be using Photoshop or Illustrator to really dive into those and get what you want. And that's when you start using your libraries,
That's
jumping in with your libraries. Oh, I'm digging that. Oh, okay. So as of right now, we're going to take this below. I want it below our elephant. Let's take it below. And all I'm doing is just grabbing it and dragging it down.
nice.
And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the opacity of it down because we've
Nice
lost.
combination of textures for sure now. Yeah.
Yeah. I almost feel it needs to be on top of the elephant. So let's bring the elephant down. Oh, the elephant didn't move. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm looking, going, why didn't the elephant get textured?
Because it's a magic elephant.
It's magic. Okay. Oh, I am digging that. I am digging that. I just want a hint of that texture. I want to be able to see the tent, but it doesn't have to, just looking at it, you're not like, oh, it's a tent. Maybe you got to look a little closer. You got to work for it. Work for it, people. So I am digging that right now. Bringing that down. We need to add text. All right. How are we doing on time?
About
I think
12 minutes or more. Yeah.
Yep. So first off, with text, what you've got going is you have a bunch of assets again that you can add in, and but then again, you can add your own text. So, or you can search text if there's something specific you're looking for. But we're going to go ahead, come up into our edit text panel, highlight that, and go community challenge, dig in that. Make it one line. We need to bring down our size. Now, as you can see over here, what we've got going is we have our font that we are using, and we also have the font. Within the drop-down menu, this can be cumbersome unless you know the exact size you want. So one of the things I like to do is get in here, and that's really hard to see. So let's grab that color right there. Grabbing this handle here, you can resize it just like this. Now, there are a ton of little hidden tricks and tips with text that I don't think we're going to be able to get into, but just so you know, there are some fun stuff. Now, we're going to make that even smaller, and I want to line that up with the side of the S. And I don't know if you can see it, but it actually snapped to the S. So I'm digging that, but I'm using my arrows to nudge it just a little bit. And we're going to make it bigger that way. And we're going to bring it down. Okay.
Nice.
I am digging that. Next off, what is it? We don't have a clue. What is Creative Circus? We don't have, it says community challenge. Okay, we need more text. We need more information. So at this point, we're going to add more text. We're going to bring that down to here and go into our text field. Let's go create anything, anyhow. Is anyhow one word? It is. There is spell check in Adobe Express, thank goodness. Create anything, anyhow, just for circuses. Or no, just be creative.
Nice.
Okay. Again, as of right now, let's go with this pink. I am digging that. And as Paul Tranny always says, fonts have one job. And as of right now, this font is failing horribly.
And did you want to answer Marsha's question? Is Adobe Express available online, or do you have to download the app?
Okay, Marcia, great question. Adobe Express is a web-based app. Now, you can actually come up here, and I don't know if this is also on a Windows, but if you would like to open this as an app, which is a standalone window, you click that and you can see to open this link, choose an app. I've never done that. Actually, I've done it, I've tested it, but I've never worked in it. So you can see how all my tabs are open. And that's why every now and then you start kind of getting hiccups with Adobe Express because it's web-based.
Yep.
It's fighting with all the other tabs that I have open. And at any point in time, right there, boom, it's saved automatically. I'm having issues. I hit that button, it takes me to the home page, and I let Adobe Express kind of think a little bit. Let's refresh.
And I'm just reminding everyone that the scrolling URL that you see at the bottom is how you can also access Express, adobe.com/express or express.adobe.com.
Yes, sir. Now, really quick, I'm jumping over here into my projects. Now, you look at this and it's like, you're an Adobe Express ambassador. You don't have many projects. Yes, I do. One of the things you want to do up here is be organized. You can create folders. Create folders, put your folders into here. I've got a Creative Circus folder. I've got folders for everything. So this is my general I'm throwing stuff in here that I'm playing around with. But right here is my project. I edit project and it opens up. Okay, we need to deal with this and then we will get into some fun really quick. At this point, you can't see what we've got going on. So I'm going to jump over to our text shapes. We're going to turn that on. We're going to hit our shapes, click on that, and you have all these shapes. This is a circus. We got to have a ribbon.
Yeah,
Got to have a ribbon. Digging it, digging it. So with our ribbon, we can go with a different color. We want to stay consistent on our brand. Did we want to? No, there's no green. That was wrong. Sorry, everybody. We're going to stick with that color right there. Now, you can mask it. If I hit this mask, boom, it cut out the text out of the ribbon. So This is a cool effect, especially when you have, let's say, some gradients or some really cool colors behind it. I could leave that. No, I'm sticking with the pink. Next off, we need to increase the ribbon a little bit, just like that. And then you also have an opacity slider. We want that at 100. Let's go ahead. We're going to bring that around. Let's taking it like so. And I don't know, I restarted and now Express is like, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have restarted.
It's still working pretty well though.
And it's not liking any of the movements I'm doing. It keeps snapping back to center. Let's go ahead. Let's take this all the way down. Let's get the angle we want. Oh, that's exactly what it was doing. It was using the smart guides to snap. Let's put that right there. Let's go ahead. We're going to grab our group stars. I want that. Nope, getting it back into our groups. Now I've got assets over the stars. So I'm creating my own problems, which is understandable. I do that a lot. Just moving these around really quick. Okay. Okay. So at this point, let's go ahead. Let's get out of that group. I got to bring that opacity down a little bit. And underneath the texture, we're going to mask it also. I'm having second thoughts. It's too much. It's too much.
So Marcia asks, can you lock layers?
Not yet, but the team is very much aware of it. I want to lock layers and also hide layers. Those are two things that a lot of people have been asking for. So let's say we're here. We got our design. We're happy. Very important here. This is where you can have fun. Before you do anything.
What do you mean have fun? We've been having fun the whole time.
Oh, Andrew, this is work. Down here, we have multi-pages. So you can add an empty page or you can duplicate it. We're going to duplicate that page. So down here, you can see the two. And if I come over here to our grid view, I click on that and you can see we've got page 1 and page 2, exact duplicate. Now let's get out of that by clicking there. Now we jump into color and let's say we want to try some different colors. Like, okay, I like where we're at, but color pop. Okay, somebody in chat had to say make it pop. So we're going to hit view all in color pop and we're going this way. So I've selected this color palette. You can, excuse me there. You can change the color by clicking there, or you can use the shuffle button. So if we go through, we can shuffle. Now it is only adjusting the assets in which I made in Adobe or I added from Adobe Express. It's not adjusting what I made in Adobe Illustrator, either one of those, and it's not adjusting the photo. So that's something to be aware of. So now if I go back, you can see we've got the blue and orange, which I'm kind of liking. It's different. But really quick, I'm going to show you another tip really fast. We're going to grab our community challenge. We're going to duplicate that. We're going to go ahead, line both of those up. And in our section, I'm going to grab that, the bottom one, the one underneath. We're going to grab that dark color and I'm going to use my arrow keys and bring those around just to give it a bit of a drop shadow that you can see. So you can see we've got both right there. Now, let's go ahead, select that. We could give this a little bit of a blur. No, let's not. But this is a really cool tip. If we click out of everything, go Command 0, and we want to animate, one of my favorite things is using the typewriter. Now, this is the largest text that we have here. This is not considered text. This is a graphic. So it's going to animate using the typewriter, the text. So as you can see, it comes up and the largest text comes up first. So the background gets typed on, the shadow, and then the blue comes over the top. So if you want to add this type of an effect as animation, what you want to do is not use the drop shadow. Like I never use the drop shadow in text. This is how I always end up creating either a 3D effect or having a drop shadow. But I that is a huge tip that I love to show off because it's fun.
Yeah, I love text animation.
Yeah. And talking about text, really important because I didn't get a chance to talk about Adobe fonts, but Adobe fonts, Adobe Color, and Adobe Stock are all in Adobe Express. So you actually have access down here for font recommendations. You can you can get the recommendations, show more, and constantly go through. Now, this is tough to read. So let me change this a little bit. Let's move it down here and we'll make it bigger. Go right there. And so if I just click on them, these are different recommendations from what I've been making that Adobe fonts. So it's the exact same thing. Now, unfortunately, the new variable fonts that are on Adobe fonts are not part of Express yet. Because I mean, they're brand new. They're brand new. So hopefully those are going to be coming soon. But you do have access to all of your Adobe fonts. So if I get out of that, I jump up into here. Here is all of your fonts. And you can add your own fonts. But let's say that Lust is one of my favorite right now. Yeah, Lust Display. So I've already downloaded that, or I've got it activated through fonts.adobe.com, and boom, there you go. So let's get back one more. And this needs to be tweaked a little bit, needs a little bit more loving. But I like where it's going.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah. So were there any more questions that we had going on in chat?
I don't think that Erica knew that I could duplicate the pages. She said, "What?"
Oh, multi-pages is awesome in Adobe Express.
Yeah,
Before what you had to do is, let's go ahead, we'll jump out of that, go into project, and this is crazy. What you had to do, let me see, maybe under live stream. Oh, no, it was Dogtown, excuse me. Let me jump back into home. And this was a project that I was working on. It's a UK skate shop that's based on the beginning of skating in California, where they skated in pools. So initially, as I wanted to create banners for this faux skate shop, they didn't have multi-pages. So I had to duplicate, resize. So with this from here, I would come over here, duplicate the project, hit resize. Then this is a LinkedIn cover. And I scroll down and I say, oh, I want to go with a banner, or, you know, Kindle, where else? Oh, here we go. Etsy, Twitter. And then I had to resize, duplicate, resize. Ridiculous. Why? Once, while I was working on this project, the multi-pages came out. And let me get back into it. Dogtown. And you can see right here, we're going to go into edit this. Open that up. So what I did here, oh, this is actually my Behance project that I made. Yeah, so I was able to make all the banners in one project for Twitter, LinkedIn. Why am I zooming in on it? Let's actually look at it, big dummy.
Now, Shawn, you do have a question which might be related back to your original project or design. Stuart asked, how would you export this for print?
Good question, Stuart. I would export the original poster as, and I think it's very important to go through that again. So let me reopen that.
I think you're going to say PDF, right?
I am, but here's the other question that people are going to ask. What's the size? Like I did a poster, right? So I came over here, hit resized. Original image. Let's click on it. Up, Command Z, custom, custom. We're going to hit that. So the original size of this is an 11 by 17 inch.
Good.
So by hitting poster, that is the starting size. Now, Stuart is an InDesign god, well, of many things. And so he probably is aware of inches. But I am not good with the metric system. So I don't know how good he is. But if I really wanted to, if we came through, let's go ahead, duplicate this again. And we want to turn this into an Instagram story also. Boom. The only thing that I need to change is, let's see, that's the tent. So I just need to change the tent. Let's grab the tent right there. Let's make it bigger and I'm done. There you go. Instagram story. Back to the print, coming back into here. When you go into download, the options that you have, I would recommend a PDF.
Great. And then Stuart also asked, have they added crop marks yet?
They have not added crop marks yet. They are aware of it. One of the things, okay, first off, if you are getting that deep, that you want crop marks, you will be adding your bleed. So you will know your custom size. You will put in, and another really good tip, we're going to go to custom size over here. We're in pixels. Let's go to, this is going to show my ignorance. So let's say your bleed is another, I don't know, 3 millimeters. So we're going to add for our bleed. So we're going to go 219 by 219 again. And I could be totally wrong. And then hit next and it makes it. So you've added your bleed. You can do one of two things at this point. If you want your crop marks for your printer or cut marks for your printer, I would save it as a PDF. I would take it into Illustrator and add them. Or the other option, if you really want to, and the downfall here is you don't have the control of your shapes yet. So if we just go into our shapes, basic shape, grab a line, and I don't know the size of this line. We've got, is it 20 pixels? Maybe it's 20 pixels. I don't know if this is pixels or not, but you could create your own. So bringing this over to the edge, holding down the option, bringing it over. There's also grids within the design function, but you have to remember, for those of us, not me in general, us as in the general us, if you are using the terminology and these are the things that you want in Adobe Express, you're already using InDesign, Illustrator. This is how you learn what tool is best for the job that you're trying to do. And for me, Adobe Express has turned into this, I want to make this. If I'm going to do it fast, let's see if I can do it in Adobe Express. And I'll take a look at Adobe Express. There's so many times getting into some of these quick actions. Like I do a lot of, let's see here. Let's go into PDFs over here under the quick actions. What I did was I hit the big purple button and you have all of these quick actions for a PDF. I do a lot of traveling and I'm creating the PDFs before I go. And as I want to add stuff, I want to take different parts of PDFs, Adobe Express. I fall into Adobe Express by adding text, organizing pictures, combining files. I keep finding myself coming back to the quick actions because it's just so easy.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. Stuart says a universal tool for asset creation. It's a great piece of software, nothing too complex, nice and easy to use. It's a gateway app. Oh, come on, Andrew, that's funny. If you learn how to remove a background in Adobe Express, you're going to be like, what can I do in Photoshop? If you're making posters, you're like, I've heard of this thing called InDesign. Or you're playing with the noun project shapes and you're like, what are vectors? And you open up Illustrator.
Sweet.
Okay, let's go ahead and open this up again. I think unless there's any more questions, I think I'm good with this poster.
Yeah, you've already gotten some very nice compliments too. So let's see, where was it? Linda says, super informative and inspiring. Thanks.
Thank you, Linda.
Carrie says, my first Adobe Live. Thanks so much, Andrew and Shawn.
Welcome in, Carrie. I hope to see you over on Behance.
And Stuart says, ace work, Shawn.
He's Chewbacca. Oh. Ace work. That's so UK, and I love it.
Join us on Behance, he says. So let me give a shout out to, thanks so much, Shawn, and let me let everyone know where they can find you online. So I'll bring over here. And so first, once again, a reminder, you can access Adobe Express at adobe.com/express or express.adobe.com. And then I will post it in the description that I will go back and tweak on my YouTube as well as in the Facebook groups. But I have a link where you can get a 30-day Adobe Express trial. So that's a little bit too much to maybe write down here, but I will be posting it in the various places.
Screenshot.
So it's what? That's
Take
right.
a screenshot.
But I'll post it so you can click the link in the different places. But so you can find Shawn online at Linktree Kosel, and then also on Instagram, Kosel Photography. That's how you say it, Kosel, right?
Kosel.
Kosel. Okay, sorry.
Yep.
So let's go back.
No.
Linktree
No
Kosel. Instagram Kosel Photography. And as he showed you before, this wonderful Behance. So behance.net, Kosel. Great. And then just a reminder to everyone who's watched today, thank you so much for being here. Please consider subscribing for more Adobe Focus live streams and tutorials on my YouTube. That's youtube.com/digitalartdrew. That's Digital Art Drew on YouTube. If you haven't already, please consider joining my Photoshop and Lightroom group, just past 330,000 members. That's facebook.com/groups, Photoshop Lightroom group. And also consider joining my digital art and AI art group, facebook.com/groups, the digital art group. Much smaller group, but still a lot of creativity jumping around in that group. Any last remarks, Shawn? It's quite good.
I just want to thank everybody in chat for showing up and spending your time with us. One of the things that I find extremely important, people have, Andrew, I'm going to get a little sentimental here, but people have a love language. Mine is time. So the idea that people spend time with us is actually really important, and I cherish that. So I appreciate a great deal the fact that you actually give us your time. I know it's important, and it's worth a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, well, this went really well. So for sure, I'll reach out to schedule various different ones. And, not just Adobe Express. We can focus on some Photoshop ones too, right? Or maybe some Illustrator and Photoshop. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see. Thank you, Andrew and Shawn from Imaginary. Someone says, where are the Ferrero Rocher? You usually have those chocolates around or something? Or?
Love language.
Okay, thanks, Shawn and Andrew. So yes, thanks everybody. So do consider joining those groups as well as subscribing to my YouTube. And for the groups, if you do join, keep your eye on the top featured post. That is where all the announcements for the live events will be, as well as today's recording, as well as any contest and special Adobe news, updates, etc. So yes. Stuart says you're really spoiling us. Thanks for extra stream, Shawn Kosel. Yep. So yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you so much, Shawn.
Thank you, Andrew.
Have a great one, and keep your eye out for more and more great ones. Stuart says, nice stream. We'll tune in again. Thanks, everybody.